What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video at J&J Futures. So today was a very tough day in the market, and a lot of people lost, including us. So I feel like with live trading, with our Discord growing a bit more in popularity, and with us starting back up live trading in our Discord every day for premium members, I thought I would make a little psychology video on YouTube for free for anyone watching on how to deal with losing days and how to keep a positive mindset, because for me, psychology is really 90% of trading in general, in my opinion. So, first, let's get into, everybody's like, I don't know if I can do trading because I don't know if I can figure out the strategy. I don't know how to look at the charts. I don't know what you're talking about. If you give me like 2 to 4 weeks, assuming you're actually willing to learn and willing to put the work in, I'm sure I could teach you ICT and I could teach you my strategy in that amount of time. The strategy part, like, there are plenty of winning strategies. There are people who are profitable with trend lines. There are people who are profitable with supply and demand, ICT, everything. You know what I mean? But the thing that really sets people apart is their mental. So when you ask yourself, who's making the most money in trading in the world, it is literally not humans. It is hedge fund robots. It is machines. It is systems. It is mechanical models. And that's what the big corporations do. There are market makers and there are professional traders and stuff like that for hedge funds or for firms, everything like that. But in general, most of the trades done, at least the high speed, high volume trades, are done by machines or done by robots. So the way I look at it is, why am I not trying to be like them? Especially trading ICT. If you're trading ICT, that means that you're trying to trade with the markets. So why not trade like the markets in order to make some money? So the way I look at it is, you can give someone a strategy with a 98% win rate. This is true. You could give someone a 98% win rate and they could know that it's a 98% win rate. But if they take a loss, that 2% day, and they're like, what the fuck? Now I got to make it back. Let me size up and try to make it back. And they tilt and they fucking blow their account. They're still not going to make money. Isn't it crazy that I can give you a 98% win rate and there will still be people out there who won't be profitable in the long run? Is that because of the strategy? No, because you know it'll work in the long run. You back test, you study, you do all of this shit, and you know that shit works in the long run. You can do the 2022 ICT model if that's how you like trading. For me, I don't do that because I prefer IFVGs. I prefer low RR, high win rate trades, stuff like that. So for me, I have developed a system accustomed to my liking, and that takes some time for sure. But actually getting down the technicals and then finding your strategy, everything like that can be done rather quickly and rather easily. The problem is, can you actually execute when it's time to get online? Every single morning, I wake up at 8:30. I make some breakfast. I take a shower. I go on a walk, and I just get my mind clear because I know I have to go on and have to trade a bunch of money. But the problem is, many people are like, okay, let's see. Okay, I got to get on and just find whatever I can take. All right, this long looks good. Stuff like that. I don't go on waiting to, take a trade. I go on waiting for the trade to come to me because I'm only trading my model. I'm not going in there like, okay, let's see if we could get this, trade right here off this fair value gap respect. I don't give a fuck about the fair value gap respects because I don't take trades like that. I know my system, and if I have an 80% win rate trading IFVGs, then, obviously I'm like, all right, that's going to work in the long run. But then if I'm taking fair value gap respects, then it really doesn't matter because or that 80% gets completely tossed around because I'm not actually being strict to the system or the strategy that I'm preaching. So for me, I just like to think that if you're following the system along with what's actually in place for it, then that's the only way you can actually rely on the win rate itself. Like for me, you look at the charts you get on every single day. Like I said, you got to be robotic with it. Like you got to come on and be like, all right, whatever the P and L is, it doesn't matter. Like if you look at my chart here, hi mom. If you look at my chart here, I have post-its covering exactly where my P and L is. So every day, I'm really not really sure what my P and L is until if I check later in the day or if I check later in the week. Most days I don't really check unless I have like a big win. Um, or a big loss, so I know how to, like, if I have to change sizing for the future. So like yesterday, I posted a video because I checked, but most of the time I won't check till the end of the week, and sometimes even after a couple weeks. So for me, it's all about, like, fuck the P&L, fuck the strategy. You know it's gonna work in the long run. Can you just stick with it? If you have an 80% win rate and you go, you lose what's it called, like 20 trades in a row to start out your year, you could still win the next 80. You know what I mean? Like you'll have 20 and then you can still win the next 80. So it doesn't really matter what those first 20 losses are as long as you're, managing risk. But, at that 19th or 20th L, are you going to feel like shit? Of course you are. You're probably going to start to, doubt your strategy. I can't say that I'm a perfect person. I'll be like, well, now I could win 80 in a row. That's a very, extreme situation. But mathematically, it's still possible. So it's really all about, do you trust your system? Can you go along with the system and just execute? Fuck the P&L. Fuck, looking for different setups. If you know your strategy works, I know mine has a high win rate. It's worked for me for a while. Why would I stray away from it? So that's all I'm doing. All I'm here to say is just get on every single day. Take your trade, take your setup, take your model. As long as you've back tested and studied and you know it works, and you're going to be fine. You can make so much fucking money trading. You could scale up. If you're just profitable over time, you can make so much money. So trust your strat. If your strat is profitable, you will be profitable in the long run. The only difference or the only thing in the way is yourself. Thanks.